What's up, Paleo FX crew? Keith Norris from Paleo FX back again this morning. Happy Saturday morning to everybody. Let me ask you this: Are you a potential coach? Would you like to work with people in the health and wellness sphere? Have you thought about functional diagnostic nutrition? Have you checked them out? You will get the chance to check them out at PaleoFX as well. You'll be able to hear Reed Davis talk about blood work at PaleoFX, which is very, very cool. And I happen to have the founder of Functional Diagnostic Nutrition, Mr. Reed Davis, in the house. Reed, how you doing, brother?
Fantastic. Thank you, Keith. Good to be here with you for a few minutes.
Yeah, man. I always love speaking with Reed. I like hanging out with him in person as well. Reed and I have quite a bit in common. Reed, tell us just a little bit about Functional Diagnostic Nutrition.
Well, it's a perfect course for health coaches if they're not quite sure of their own program. So a lot of people come to us, they've already taken one or two health coaching programs. I think we're one of the oldest. I've been around 11 years. We keep improving the course. So we teach health coaches how to run lab work, all the anatomy, physiology, biochemistry behind the lab work, so they really know what they're looking for. What you're looking for are healing opportunities. It's not like a doctor looks at a test where they're looking for a diagnosis to treat that one thing. We're looking for everything that we can with a few simple tests, much more than blood work. It's saliva, urine, stool, whatever it takes. So we look at these healing opportunities, and then we apply the general principles of health building so that every tissue, every cell, every organ, every system in the body improves, gets better, and the client or patient gets better. So you find out what's really wrong, again, these healing opportunities, and then you do the protocols. It's, diet, rest, exercise, stress reduction, supplementation. It's a very thorough, well worked out system. Methodology of getting to the underlying causes and how to fix it. It's really, really successful. Yeah, amazing.
And this is no Mickey Mouse course we're talking about. This is in-depth, deep dive. It takes a while to get through it. And we were talking, what was it, a few months ago, we had an event in Austin where we were hanging out. It's not for the weak of heart to dive into this. I mean, you have to be committed, and it's a rigorous program.
Yeah, it's college level stuff for sure, or graduate level. I've had people who had master's degrees and PhDs go through the program and say it was just the most concentrated, practical stuff they've ever had. There's no fluff or frills. You're going through the practical things you need to know, whether you work in a clinic or whether you work out of your home. If you're going to help people, you're going to need to know this stuff. Eventually, you might take another coaching course, learn about behavior and different things. But when it comes to what's really wrong with someone and how to fix it, the FDN course it's your next level kind of thing.
Right. And it's look, let's back up just a bit. How did you come to this methodology, Reed?
And I did it the old-fashioned way, worked at it. I started 20 years ago in an office. I came out of the environmental field. So I was saving the planet, birds, bees, water, trees, things like that. And I turned my attention, well, what's this environment that's so bad for the animals and the earth? What's it doing to people? So over 20 years ago now, I started in a clinic, and I started really to build the business, a wellness center, chiropractic, acupuncture, nutrition, and things. I actually became a nutritionist after going through some training, and found out right then and there, but nutrition alone is not enough to make sick people well. You have to have an abundance of knowledge and practical skills and tools and things. So I've spent 10 years in that office working with some great pioneers in alternative medicine, but also running labs myself. I ran over 10,000 labs, and no one gets that much experience. So it's a tremendous amount of experience. I systematize it, what labs to run, and then what are the protocols you're going to fix people, all while not being a physician. We don't want to diagnose and treat disease. We leave that to the doctors. We want to find out what's really wrong and fix it and coach people up. So it's a pure form of health coaching. And so I developed it, again, the old-fashioned way, just running thousands of labs and recognizing patterns and coming up with a system. And then I was asked to teach, kind of pushed into teaching. Right. And that's how we started the FDN tribe. We got almost 3,000 tribe members in 50 countries. Anywhere you can run labs, we're going to be there with the training and access to the labs and that kind of thing.
Right. And do most of your coaches work with a practitioner? Like, are they side by side with a functional medicine doctor, maybe, or they work primarily independent?
Mostly independently, because they come with some background or skills. So you might have a degree in something, and then you get some experience and you get a couple certifications under your belt, where it might be. And so you're already kind of in business, or you want to be in business. By the way, we have a complete business module. I teach you how to package your services, how to price your services,
Right,
and how to build your business up, at least locally. And then after that, you go online and you blow it up, So the goal is to help as many people as you possibly can and really make them well. So if you're doing a good job, people are going to refer others to you so you can fix them too. And so it's, I keep it simple. It is a robust course. As you know, Michelle's going through it, your wife,
right,
and
right.
yeah, she's probably telling you that it's. I don't speak it with big words and things. I keep it in plain English, but there is a lot to learn so that you do some good in the world.
Right, right. Well, there is a lot to know around this subject, right? So you've done a good job of taking what is necessary and boiling it down to what you actually need to know. Like you said, you get rid of the fluff. What is it that you actually about this to make a human being healthy? And there's a lot. Even after you boil everything down and get rid of the fluff, there's still a lot.
And then someone has to run the program. So,
Right.
FDN could be considered first and foremost running the labs, figuring out what's wrong. We do a good job of the intake and selecting the right customers, things like that. But you got to run the investigation, figure out what the healing opportunities are, where they need to. Sometimes it's very far removed too from their actual symptoms. They might have symptoms of something, and you think you know what that is. You might even run one test and pat yourself in the back. Yeah, I found your problem. Mm-hmm. It's almost invariably contributed to by lots of other problems. All work. So that's why. So on one hand, you've got all these different things you can identify that need to be fixed, and then you got all the protocol, which doesn't necessarily treat that one thing either. It treats every cell in the body, every tissue in the body, every organ, so that way you're not practicing medicine saying, oh, I can cure your IBS or Crohn's disease or something. You're going to just fix the entire person, and whatever that problem was is also going to go away.
Right.
As we work around the edges of some things until they just disappear. And so there's the figuring out what's wrong, and there's designing the program, and there's 5 elements to our protocol. But then someone has to run the program. Guess who gets to do that?
Right.
You, if you're working on yourself. Everyone works on themselves. We're supposed to be walking the talk. It's really the one main prerequisite. You have to want to help people, number one, and you have to be willing to walk the talk to do this work. And so you're going to do it on yourself, and then you're going to have others follow you in that lead. And no one's perfect. You just got to get it going. Be on the path, man. Be on your journey, and be pretty dedicated to it.
Yeah.
And then you'll pull others along with you.
Well, I would imagine you only attract people who are dedicated, and you have to be dedicated to go through this protocol.
Yeah, well, there's a commitment. So just like my trainees and students, you got to be committed to improving yourself, to learning. You got to be open to learning, and you got to be willing to invest. There's tuition and the amount of time that it's going to take you to get through the course, and then you're going to turn around again, lead by example, and make your clients. Hey, this is going to take some resources. You're going to have to write a check or use your credit card here. You got to pay me. You got to get some lab work done, and you might have to do some other things. So there's always a financial commitment as well as the time, and people have to be willing to do that. So it's a robust program, and we have robust people in it. And then we look for able clients when we teach you how to select out people who are actually going to be successful. And then they're successful, then they refer you people, and you build a waiting list practice. It's pretty, we try to keep it as stress-free as possible.
Well, yeah, what I really like about your program is not only are you teaching the actual mechanics of making people healthy, but you're also teaching people how to run a successful business. And and that's lacking in so many programs.
Well, yeah, because do-gooders like us think we're supposed to give it away.
Right.
We're all do-gooders. Let's admit it. We want to do some good in the world. Some of us are seeing to it. And I'm just going to assure you, after being in business for all these years, that if you're not charging people a fair price, fair to you, so that you can set the example, you're going to have to pay for your gym membership, and you're going to have to be able to afford organic food and the kind of things. These things are, you have to just have the wherewithal.
Right.
So we obviously teach you to be successful by charging the right amounts. And it means, look, you can do plenty of charity work once you've got the money to do it. And I support an Indian orphanage, a Native American Indian in North Dakota. And that's my charity. Right. It's not what I do for a living. That what I do for a living, I do for a living.
Right.
So, yeah. So it's a profession. It's not a hobby. Hobbies cost you money. My motorcycles, they cost. Professions, they make you money.
Right.
You just need to distinguish that, and you'll be happy.
Yeah, and if you look on the flip side of that, there's nobody out there that's building you custom bikes that is going to give it away. I mean, you pay a fair price for a quality product, and it just, it's a cycle.
Yeah, you definitely do. So if you're running it right, yes, you're going to help a lot of people, and yes, you can, stash and do the things you need to do and afford good stuff, and you'll set a better example. You'll be healthier, you'll be happier, and therefore more people will follow you. You hope. That's how it's supposed to work.
Right. So Reed, tell us a little bit about your talk at Paleo FX.
I'm going to give a really jam-packed, amazing talk. Don't miss it, because I'm going to drop some real truth bombs, some things about my early history that are very interesting. They call it a hero's journey, and I just want everyone to realize that they can do it too.
Right.
So, I'm an ordinary guy. I do work a lot, educated, and I have a real passion, and you need to come with that. If you really want to help people, and you're willing to walk the talk, and you're willing to learn, come and hear the story, how you can help clients fix just about anything that's wrong with them. Once you learn the lab work, which I'm just going to give an overview of, and more of the mentality, and some phrases that I've coined are very, very helpful stuff, hopefully to improve your journey. I just want to set the example. And I was very fortunate to have a great position at 20 years ago, when alternative practitioners were considered quacks still, and then they became, from alternative, a little more respectable was, they called it complementary, or a little more respectable was your integrative. So I've seen it take this progression from alternative quackery through the integrative, complementary, and now functional medicine. Now it's really highly esteemed. Why? Because it works. Right. And the people doing functional medicine are looking for the underlying causes and conditions. And, I think health coaches have a very unique position in that, and it's actually a leadership role. I've always figured it that way. Like, I'm actually the person that the client, the public, wants to talk to, because I talk in plain English, and I'm not going to write a prescription. I'm not going to recommend surgery and other things that they don't want any parts of.
Right.
It's going to be, they're willing to take responsibility. So if you got a client that's willing to take responsibility and do something, you ought to know what they need to fix and how to fix it. Then you could give them good recommendations, and they will thank you for those recommendations. Right. And they'll, again, refer you people, their mothers and their brothers and their dad, their spouses. And it's that kind of a thing. And it should all be done relatively stress-free. When you have your mind right, and, you backed it up with some dedication, you're going to be very successusal.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kind of map out a plan for people if they want to come along.
And I totally agree with you. The reason these modalities are becoming ever more popular is because they work. Results. You're able to show results, and people appreciate that. They want results. If I go to an auto mechanic, I want results. I don't want my car to continue to get worse. I want them to fix it, or at least get better, get better, get better.
Yeah, I love the car analogy. I use it with the client, at least the people. Like, if you have pain, if there's something about the way you look or the way you feel that you're not happy with, that's like the red light coming on your dashboard. And you don't just disconnect the wire. Oh, take a pill to get rid. That's like disconnecting the wire. You're not fixing what's wrong with the engine or wherever it is. And so those symptoms, or those red lights, they're signals something's wrong, and you don't just want to cover it up. And so it's really important to be able to articulate this to your clients real fast, real quick, really. So the language is there for you to learn and to use.
And so you guys are sponsoring Paleo FX. Thank you very much for that. And you will have a booth there. What will the attendees be able to find out at the FDN booth?
I think it's booth 107, and it's going to be a double booth, and you're going to be able to meet FDN practitioners who are successful, including my staff. And everyone that works for me is certified by me. They all kind of came up from the family because it's really kind of a unique tribe. Again, they're all do-gooders. They're all willing to walk the talk, and they all speak the same language. And so they want to share and grow and expand. And so you can come and find out if it's right for you, for sure. There'll probably be some special opportunities and some prizes. We make it fun. Right. We're also sponsoring the network. So we're sponsoring the networking area for the entire Paleo weekend. And so we're going to give some talks there. We're going to do some networking. We want to find out what you have too. Like I come to Paleo. This would be my 6th year, I think. How many years have you done it? 7?
This is 8. This is number 8.
So I've done it 6 times. Yeah. So, I always had a good time there and gave a little talk. So this year we have more presence, and I'm going to have a bigger, the staff and other FDNs are hanging out. We got volunteers. I rented a house for all my folks for the whole weekend, and it's just going to be fantastic.
Awesome. I love hearing that. I like hearing that teams like that come in and they make it a retreat, kind of an educational retreat getaway. So that's very, very cool. Yeah,
and then of course we have our own conference coming up at the end of the year too. Right. So you can find out about that at our booth. We've got an amazing thing going on here in San Diego in November. So you want to watch out for that too.
Right on. Well, Reed, I'm going to let you get back to work on this Saturday, sir, or get out and ride some motorcycles a little bit, whatever you have planned for this beautiful Saturday. And
thank you.
Right, and safe travel. You and the team coming out to Austin next week. We are days away. Days.
Yeah. So excited. Hardly sleeping, but I'm going to do that. And happy Passover and happy Easter to everybody.
Right on.
Enjoy your weekend. Back to work on Monday. Okay, see you later, brother. Thank you.
All right, Reed. Good speaking with you, sir. I will see you in a few short days. And Paleo FX crew, make sure you check out FDN whenever you come in for Paleo FX. Go by their booth. I believe Reed is right. It's 107, but you'll have a map whenever you get to Paleo FX. You'll be able to seek them out. And make sure you find out more about that. All right. Reed, take care, brother. Paleo FX crew, have a fantastic Saturday, and we will see everybody in Austin, Texas on the 26th. Come on in. The weather's beautiful. Let's do this.
Right on.